Hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming to have a look at these dressings that we applied now. It's about 3-week check-in, 3.5-week check-in. And we'll start off by having a look around the boot plastics. We can see that the ODK Cabin has stood up, started to fade off a little bit there. The Bouncers has left the plastic clean, didn't really apply a dress as such to it, but has left it clean and shiny. And as you look over to the Duel Satin, a bit of grub there, we'll rub that in. As you look over to the Duel Satin, you can see that has it stayed as good as it was when we applied it. So walking around to the door on the side, easily visible where the 3 products were laid down, nearly a month later. And we can see that the cabin is standing up perfectly on those door cards. Still looks fantastic. Really enjoyed using that product, and it still looks really good now. Moving over to the Bouncers, you can see that again it's just left it clean. There's no real change in that at all. The plastic is clean, and it is what it is. There we go, you can see it there. And then finally we're going to step over to have a look at where the Duel Satin went down. And again, you can see it's lost some of that sheen on the door card, and actually looks fantastic. In my opinion, of the 3, looks the best now after those 4 weeks have passed us by. So having looked at that door card, let's go around the other side and have a look at the dash over there. And here it is as we pan around, get a good look at the products. There's the Duel Satin, and there, the Bouncers in the middle, and then the ODK Cabin there on the right hand side. And overall you can see the cabin faded ever so slightly, but not too much, still looks really good. Bouncers again, that nice clean finish still stayed. But the satin up there where the sunlight hits it, still a little shiny. And we come from the other side, a slightly better angle. There's that cabin, still nice and dark, still looks really good. Bouncers again, as I said, it still looks really clean and fresh. And then as we move over to the left, you'll see the satin, just as the sunlight's catching it, it's still a little bit shiny, but in terms of robustness, it stood up really, really well. And that is something that if you're looking for a solid dressing that will stand up to the elements, then there you go, there it is. Let's jump down to that final door card. So a final look over the last area, and we can see that each of the products has stood up really well. Of all of them, the Duel Satin has dulled off a little bit, hasn't quite got as much of that shine as it had originally. The Bouncers is doing exactly as it did on day 1, and I'd argue that the cabin is doing exactly as it did on day 1 as well. All 3 of them still look really good, minus that scuff down at the bottom right that I've got in the plastic, but each of them have stood up and done exactly as we would expect them to do. Looking, the anti-static properties have held up, there's not too much dust or anything clinging to them, so each and every one of these has done really, really well. And for any given job that you've got, will fit the purpose. Choose wisely depending on the plastic types, but you can see the products do stand up really well, and each and every one of them satisfied me, both using it and checking back. To finish us off, here's some stills of the products so you get a closer look and more time to view them. But there just remains to say, thanks for coming back to check in and watching the content that we produce. And if you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to come back to see more next time.